2025, every step forward. It's kind of a mantra that I have, not in the sense that I repeat it over and over to myself, not one of those kinds of mantras. It's more like an idea flowing around in my head. When things get tough during long races, sometimes in the middle of the night, it's just an idea that always comes to me, reminding myself, just keep going. Don't stop, don't sit down. Every step you take is moving forward. It's moving you in the right direction, moving you towards the finish. All right, here we go. Those 2 poles are my starting line. Gonna wind it up a little, leading into the hill. The goal is 45 minutes solid. See how far I get before I run into snow or muck or whatever. All right, here we go. So I started this YouTube channel just exactly a month ago. I thought it'd be a good time to give a little bit of an update, maybe share some directions as far as where I see it going. This is not a retrospective. I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing about everybody's best of 2024. So I'm gonna try to keep this one squarely focused on 2025 moving forward. So as you see in the channel, I've just been kind of covering some ideas and topics that come to my head, things that I think about on the run. Of course, some gear stuff, some on the run shoe testing, things of that nature. It's more or less the off season as far as my trail running goes. I haven't been too structured in my training. I run consistently throughout the year. I don't take big breaks or anything. I run through the winter. But as far as building up towards a particular event or a goal, that kind of falls off during the winter and off season months. I have signed up for a race. January 25th, Wilson Creek 50K. I've run that race twice before. The last time was 2 years ago. Humble bragging, I won that race, so I'm going back this year. I want to try, not necessarily to win, but have a good performance for sure. But as far as this channel goes, my training and racing is something that I want to be a big focus, because those are generally the topics that I'm interested in as a runner myself, and those are topics that I think could be of interest to you following along. Even though I'm not in a block of training towards a particular goal, I have been trying to keep up with my speed work through the off season, make it a more regular part of my routine than it has been in the past. I think my fitness is probably on a very good level right now. I'm not specifically building up to this 50K, which is in about 3.5 weeks. But this past Saturday, I did do my first, I would say, targeted long run towards that race. I do have to start doing a little longer runs, getting a little bit of race pace in, so to speak, or race effort, because the conditions could be pretty wild out there. You never know, mud, snow, ice. So it's not a speed focus, more of an effort focus. So that type of format, as far as following along as I build up to more serious races later in the spring and the summer, that's definitely something that I want to cover on this channel. I think it'd be informative. I think it'd be helpful for myself to really plan through things and maybe think through my training a little bit better, rather than just having it be kind of haphazard. I don't have a coach. I do everything myself. So yeah, I don't have a specific agenda or schedule of topics. Kind of have a list that's more scattershot, things that I might want to touch on along the way. But I think it'll be more oriented towards training and build up and racing. I feel like that would provide the most value for anybody watching. So as far as this 50K coming up, like I said, I've been pretty good with my speed work, pretty good with my fitness. I'm feeling good, so I'm not particularly building up to it in a specific way. The race is the end of January, so it's not a time to really go all in. But I like to use that race, and I've done it twice before, as a gauge of fitness, to see if my speed work focus is helping, see how strong I feel on the race. There's always something that comes up in the race that'll give me an idea of what needs to be worked on going forward into the season. So just to give some context, I do consider myself a sub-elite runner. Maybe not on the level of an elite runner, definitely far from professional, but I would say that I take my training as seriously as an elite. So just if you choose to follow along here, there's always things to learn at any level. Or if perhaps you're striving to get better or you want to be a better runner, I think I could give some value there. I'm not some professional giving these insane workouts that no normal mortal runner could possibly do. I'm just a regular guy. I do pretty well for myself. I like to take my training seriously. If you find yourself anywhere in that range, I'd like to think that you could follow along and get some value out of this channel. So getting back to the mantra, so to speak, every step forward in 2025, it's also, in a general sense, kind of the direction that I want to go with Humble Running. I've had some good results over the past couple seasons. I've had some successes. I've also had some big blow-ups, some disappointments. I feel like my training is always evolving, and I think that at this point I have some good ideas for this next season. I want this next season to be my best season. So if you'll follow along, hopefully you can go on that journey with me. I kind of want to take the things that I've learned over the past 2 seasons, the things that have worked, build on it, move forward into this season and beyond, of course. I'm always kind of looking for my best race. I've had good races, I've had great races, but I still don't think I've had that race, that great race, that great performance. I still feel like there's something left for me. Not everything always goes right. And maybe it never will. Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's part of this whole game, this whole adventure. You'll never find that perfect race, but I guess we could always try to get closer. Oh, so I'm not a big like and subscribe guy, but just this one time, since it's the first video of 2025. If any of that sounds good to you, any of the topics that I talked about, any of the ideas that I have, that sounds interesting, please like and subscribe. Also, if there's any topics you'd like to hear about, or you'd like to hear my opinion on, or you'd like me to cover, for sure, let me know in the comments. Hope you had a great end to 2024 and 2025. Let's go.